So, it's my grandpa's birthday soon. Well, it was like 2 months ago, but I've been quite busy and this took ages to edit, so I wasn't able to post this sooner. But anyways, I painted him this acrylic painting as a present, and whenever I make art like this, where I put a lot of thought and time into it, I always try to film it so that other artists can see it and maybe learn something from it or teach me something that I didn't know, and also so that I can look back on it when I'm older. So here's the video. Acrylic painting with me? Okay, no. Acrylic painting speed paint. Very satisfying and relaxing, plus some tips I learned along the way. First off, I'm starting to sketch the drawing onto the canvas by copying the thumbnail sketches I made on my sketchbook. Now that I'm done, I'm just going to open up my paints. And here they are. First off, the main acrylics I'll be using today, the rowneys. Then I have older paints which I will most probably not use, but they are here just in case. Some paintbrushes, and of course an extra tube of white paint, because for some reason every painting I make uses so much white paint, and I actually used both this big tube and the small one for this painting. And once I have all of my colors prepared on my palette, I can start painting. I block out the shapes first with the main colors so I can build up shading later on. A really helpful tip I learned to get the right color is to paint directly onto your actual reference picture. Here you can see the color for the tiles is way too saturated, so I added more black and white, and now it's perfect. By the way, the subject I decided to paint is a very special place for me and my family, and it is thanks to my grandparents that we can go there, so I kind of wanted to translate that summery, bright, peaceful feeling it brings us when we're there with the pastel sunset and bright colors. For the order of painting, I really wish I had started with the sky instead of the trees and the leaves, because if you were to paint a tree with a background, you probably wouldn't paint the tree first because it would be very hard to drive around every single little leaf, and you might have to end up repainting the whole tree on top of the sky. That's why I decided to paint in layers. First the sky, since it's the layer at the very back, and then everything else, including the sea, which will go second. It is day 2, yay! So as you can see, I blended out the sky and filled the sea, but I need to finish adding details and then hopefully move on onto the third layer of painting, the walls. But first, I need to finish a few details like painting the sea. The walls were probably the hardest part in this piece because I didn't know how to blend it without making it look too yellow or too gray, and trying to balance it off with the perfect off-white with subtle shadows to give it shape. I must have done it, wiped it off, and repainted it about 50,000 times, so I took a break, and it does really help to see it with a fresh mindset and realize it's not that bad and you can fix it later if you have to. Now on to day 3. I wish I hadn't darkened the sky so much because it looks too bright and too fake, so I'll have to fix that later. But other than that, I'm ready to move on. I need to finish the wall and add the windows and stuff, then move on to the tiles and chimneys. For the roof, I painted a base color and made darker and lighter versions of this color to make the tiles. I know my head and arm keep blocking the view, and it's really annoying to watch and to edit, but it was very hard to film without doing this, and my filming setup was clearly not the best. Still though, I bought a tripod thing over summer, so the videos coming up will have much better filming quality. Once I'm done with that, I'm starting with the plants, trees, and flowers. I lost count of all the days I spent painting after that, but it was definitely more than the 3 I showed in this video. I kept adding details, finishing touches, fixing some parts, and it really does feel endless because every time I finished, there was something else that needed fixing. But keep in mind that nothing will ever be exactly perfect, and imperfections will just give it more personality. Random tip, but if you ever have to draw a palm tree or some kind of tree with like detailed leaves that look a bit weird, I have the answer. It's really helpful to think about shapes. Instead of making the leaves like this, start with thin strokes coming out of the trunk. Then draw the shape you see in the leaves. For this palm tree, it was like a clover-like shape. Then paint thin strokes coming out of the shape and drooping down in different shades of green. The difference is amazing, it looks so much cleaner, and you can recognize the tree instantly. I'm really happy with the results, and I can't wait to use acrylics again, but I also want to try out other mediums such as oils, gouache, so look out for more videos like this in the future. I did put a lot of time and thought into the filming and the editing, so taking a few seconds to like, comment, subscribe with notifications would really make my day. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this inspired you to pick up your sketchbook or open up your paints and make some art yourself. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day. Bye! Oh, and happy Halloween!